Welcome to Pushing 40-Bit. My name's Frosty.
And Klipper's front and center.
Yay.
I'm Cynic as always.
Great. This is the final episode of Season 1.
We made an entire season without killing each other.
Should maybe say that it was about this time last year that we first started talking about doing this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is when we started kind of formulating the idea.
Things were starting to come together. We didn't start releasing episodes till February, but we had banked some in advance. So.
I don't think we started recording till like January. Or
It might have been January.
Yeah,
we
like
recorded.
So
I think one of the first or second episodes, we actually did it back to back with a quick wardrobe change.
We did, yeah, and recorded them out of order.
that means I've been shirtless in this room multiple times.
Ugh,
Creepy.
don't remind me.
So, final
liked
episode. We did kind of play a game this month, though. We played Untitled Goose Game. I keep wanting to call it just Goose Game.
I do too.
Yeah.
But they've really made it clear that it's Untitled
It's
Goose
Untitled
Game.
Goose
Right.
Game.
Very important.
It is by House, great name. Published by Panic Inc. I don't know either of those studios at all or companies. Came out on September 20th of this year, so it's really recent. Probably the most recent thing we've played.
Easily the most recent thing.
Yeah.
And
Play all stuff.
the low cost barrier to entry was probably what influenced that decision. Because it was about $20.
A little
Yeah.
bit, but I think also too, it was everywhere. Like
Yeah.
I was seeing things about it everywhere, and it looked interesting enough that I did want to try it. So it worked.
Yeah.
It's
So we,
definitely on my wish list. It seemed quirky and different.
so we had 2 players on PC, and then I played on the Switch. Because it's kind of fun to take a goose on the go.
I want to ask about the controls on the Switch. How was it?
Hell on Earth.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Because
so they were bad on the PC too. I changed them by default. So Frosty and I he played on my account after I'd finished it, or after I'd already set up the controls. Because in your video, I saw the prompts were my.
they were okay. Because I was gonna
My
say like
control
default
screen.
worked great.
Yeah, no, it was bad. I can't remember what all the defaults were, but
Yeah.
the triggers were dumb things like honking and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I changed them to be ducking and running because that way you could do them at the same time as using your thumb for other things.
Okay, because that worked way better.
Yeah.
And I played it in its default configuration just to see how it came, and I went the whole way like that.
Yeah, I just looked at the default scheme and I was like, I can't keep it this way. I have to change it. This is because I'm not going to be able to like run and duck and I mean, luckily a lot of them were toggles, and I didn't realize that early on. Like grabbing was a toggle. You didn't have to
Right.
hold it, right? And so that kind of changes it a little bit, but still, it's better to be able to hold down run and then quickly toggle the grab
Yeah.
button.
Yeah. I love the mechanic how sprinting made you turn a lot slower.
Uh-huh.
And so you'd like get out of sprint mode to turn quick and then sprint
Yeah.
again. It's like trying to like find out the intricacies of being a goose.
Then because the goose is it's not perfectly accurate, I guess.
It's awkward. It's
a little-
awkward to
it's a little
control.
awkward, but it's the right amount. I thought. Like
Mm-hmm.
you never need to do anything. There's no like jumping puzzles or anything like that.
Sure.
Like,
No.
There's nothing like platforming where you need to be super precise. Like it's enough that you can get away with things.
My biggest complaint with the accuracy was just when items were close together, right? So like
Yeah.
if the farmer was holding something and he had in the hand that had the keys on the same side, I call him a farmer. He had a garden, a very small garden. He's clearly not a farmer, but I'll probably say it
Farmer
again
works.
because I'm from Idaho.
I called him farmer.
So Farmer John or whoever he'd have the keys and then he'd like hold the radio in one hand and you'd go to grab one thing and you'd grab the other because they were next to each other. So that detection was a little frustrating.
Did the radio change for you every time you picked it up?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it was like bagpipes.
I
And then it
noticed
was
at
like
least 2 songs, but I
Yeah.
didn't notice if it was every single time.
Yeah, if you pick it up and drop it and pick it up and drop it, every time it'll be it'll be different like 5 or 6 times before
Yeah,
it loops.
right.
Did you drop it in the water and short it out?
No,
Yeah, I took it to the water and went. And went
I didn't try that.
I'm trying to remember if I did that or if my son did that because so after I started playing it, my son Finton wanted to play it, and so he was playing it, and I kind of mixed the gameplay in my mind a bit.
That's fine. It's a short enough game that Anyway, I guess the whole plot of the game is that you're just a jerk and you just go around messing with people. That's pretty much it.
I guess your overarching part is you want the bell.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the bell is the goal.
There's a
The question is why though? Are you collecting bells or are you mad that they ring? Because multiple times in the game the bell like rings when you're doing stuff, and so it made me curious what the motivation there was, if there was any. But
Well, I wondered if that was a bell or if there was like a clock tower just that you
Oh,
never saw.
There-
I wondered. I assumed when we finally got to the model that was what was dinging. But
There
maybe
is a
not.
clock tower because one of the achievements after you get the last bell is do XYZ before the clock tower.
So you steal the model bell from the model clock tower, but there is a real clock tower.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Which
And also, that lady, the quirky lady with all the crap in her backyard, where'd she get her bell? Because you notice anytime she had that bell that you would ring with a hammer to like poke the guy.
The big bell.
But if you ever put stuff from her yard in his yard, he'd give it back. You put stuff from his yard in her yard, she'd just keep it. Right? So I'm wondering if she and the goose are kindred spirits stealing bells.
Okay.
She did dress me up in a pretty pink or red bow.
Yeah.
Ribbon, whatever it was.
So maybe there's more going on here than you initially think.
Untitled Goose Game 2.
It's just about that lady.
It's like a Ratchet and Clank remake. Like a goose on a shoulder.
I was trying to matchmake those two, but they were not having it.
They were
not friendly.
feuding neighbors.
Yeah.
Based on the floral.
Oh yeah, when she
Destruction.
I was hoping,
flower.
let's, make the best out of this situation, right? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When you get your prize rose cut, you start a romance by handing it over the fence, all Don Juan style. But no, he just wanted to sit and smoke.
It's like those meet cutes that start with a car accident.
There you go.
Oh, jeez. So who was your favorite person to torment?
Oh, favorite person to torment. I thought that the old man with the harmonica was kind of a fun one. But it wasn't so much that I wanted to torment him. The person I wanted to torment the most was the burly man blocking me. Well, no. The person I wanted to torment most was the lady who has to carry you into the pub in a box. I wanted to torment her because that was my least favorite part of the game, waiting for her to come pick up the box.
How many times did you end up having to do
Like
that?
4 or 5.
Really?
Like, it was
I think
awful.
I did twice. And the second time I was like, okay, I need to stay in here. Like, I need to not get caught.
Am I just an idiot? Because right outside of the fence, there's a cellar door that's like slightly ajar. And the whole time I just assumed, at some point, I'm going to get to go through here and pop that cellar door open so that I don't have to do this anymore.
I never could.
Is there a way to do
If
it?
there was, I never saw
I
it.
didn't find
It was driving me
Maybe
batty.
there is.
So she would have been my favorite to torment, but you can't do anything to her. She
She's
just
sitting in
doesn't
the box.
care.
Yeah.
It's going to be the kid for me. The kid with the glasses was just hilarious.
Yeah. You kind of feel bad for him, though.
Well, not once. Not even once. It was great the whole time.
Okay.
Like, steal his glasses, throw him in a puddle, take his toys. Like, oh, this is great. I probably spent, like, the better part of 2 hours tormenting him.
That's funny.
When the whole game's 4.5, 5 hours, then... I don't know, how long did it take?
3, and I did it all in one sitting.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
about
really?
what I did. But
Yeah.
I also didn't try to do any of the secret objectives. I think I got one by accident.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I went for all...
Oh, do those pop up if you do one before you get the credits?
Yes, but even after the credits, there's still like invisible fake ones, right? Like, so it was that I did it pretty early on, and so I was like, oh, I'm just going to accidentally get some of these. Nope, I only got the one.
Because I feel like when I finish, like I drop the bell in the pit, the credits roll, and then it starts you over. I have the full list of all the secrets ones. Even though I hadn't done any.
So there was a full list of new things to do, but I thought there were still secret ones, but I guess not. I guess.
Oh,
it's
then
just-
maybe I never saw secret ones.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
If there was an extra.
Wait, so just a
page.
page full of like question marks? You never saw that?
No.
Oh yeah. So I did something, and it popped up like that one, and I looked at the list, and there was just a bunch of question marks on a page.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I had the credits, and I was like, I'm done. Like,
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
need to
as
do
much
anything
as this was a quirky game and it was different than other games, and for the life of me, I want to love it for that reason. I didn't want to play it anymore. I was just done. Now I think my kids will play it probably exhaustively, so that'll be interesting to see what they do, and maybe I'll duck in from now and then and see some interesting things. But I didn't have a desire to keep playing it.
yeah, that's kind of how I felt, and I was also thinking too, like, if this is $20, you can finish it in 3 hours. I don't know. That almost seems a little too expensive, even though that's relatively cheap. It's still a little too much for what it is, I think.
It's $7 an hour. I always do it by the hour. Like, that's how I do a lot of my entertainment
Yeah.
calculations. It's like, well, a movie costs more than that, so...
That's true.
No, a movie's about the same, right? I mean, because
Oh, I only go on $5 Tuesday.
Okay, so then on $5 Tuesday, you get 2 hours for $5. So that's a lot cheaper than
Yeah.
$7 an hour, right? I mean, that's
Well, it was more
$2.50
than
an hour.
Yeah.
Math.
Math!
Yay.
Edutainment. There's a little bit of edutainment in every episode.
We try.
No,
Tune
for
in
me,
next time for some calculus.
I played it quite a bit more than that, like, because I was on a few business trips and I took my Switch with me, and I just was on the plane laughing like a laughing like a villain, and people were just engrossed in it because like I'm in a plane and you're like all squished in. I was trying to mind my own business, but people kept like, "Whoa, what's he doing?"
Yeah.
And they kept looking at him like, "He's a goose. I don't get it."
I think that's the thing too that is a big positive is this does seem to have a bit more universal appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard of people playing that don't normally play games that have played this and have really liked it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of unique and the art style is cute and like it's very easy to tell what's going on and I guess if you change the controls, it's easy to control.
Yeah. I could see just wanting to play it more like an open world sort of thing. If there were more areas, right, where it's just like, oh, I'm just going to pop in, I'm going to be a jerk for a while, and then I'm going to pop out, right? But feeling like I need to like figure out how to complete the objectives, that part was just unenjoyable for some reason to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it could maybe feel a bit like homework or something. Like
Yeah. Did
like
you ever?
it's not as open as like a. I kept kind of thinking of like a old Tony Hawk game or something like that,
Yeah.
where you like your main objective is to get points, doing the tricks and stuff. But
Yeah.
then there's also all this other stuff that you can do extra that is also kind of fun and
Makes sense.
you maybe have to do a few of to get unlock new levels, but whatever. But
I didn't like having to wait for the timing events. Where it's
Yes.
like, I want to put a bucket on this guy's head, and it's like, well, I gotta wait for him to get here.
that one took me forever
Yeah.
to figure out how to get him.
Oh,
back
really?
there. That one took me the longest of the whole game because I could not figure out how to get him to go back there.
Well, it looks like you've got it solved, right? Because I would just like, oh, I'll just put all this crap that he wants in the bucket or in the box of tomatoes, and he's not close enough when that's the case. So
Yeah.
he'll go and he'll pull the wrench out or whatever it is. He'll pull all the items out of there, and you can hit the bucket, and it won't ever land on his head. He will only be in the correct position when you mess with the tomatoes themselves.
Oh. Well, so how did you get him to go back there in the first place?
So I took a pint glass and I walked near him, and then I ran under the porch, and then I honked a bunch so that he saw me again, and then I went to the other side and honked a bunch so he saw me again and dropped the pint glass in there. And then when he was returning that, I would grab like the salt pepper shaker or whatever. I would just grab a bunch of stuff and put it there. But then both he and the lady that's cleaning like the tables
Right.
would get the same things. And so you had to put like a bunch of stuff there, right? And I was like, oh, but this is how we do it, like, because obviously they're going right there. And then I'd hit the bucket and it would miss every time. But until they specifically were about the tomatoes, like inspecting the tomato
Yeah.
to make sure it wasn't broken or something.
You smash one or something, and it makes a mess.
Oh, I didn't smash one. I just moved it, but like since it wasn't there, he picked it up to like inspect it, and that's when he was in the right position for
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I ended up like smashing it on his outfit.
So
Well, he
he
sits.
sits in them.
Oh, that's how it happened.
That's how that place ends. Yeah, when he sits in it.
Which was a little hard not to make certain inappropriate jokes, since we both were in Chile for a while, and sitting in the tomatoes means something very different there.
Completely
Oh,
different.
really?
Yeah. I did chuckle though when that happened. I was like,
You can look it up. We're not going to talk about it. The YouTube gods would not smile on us kindly.
but yeah. So I mean, it was a fun, quirky little game.
Yeah.
On a plane, I'll throw it on for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes while I'm ignoring the safety briefing. But that's about it.
That seems like a good.
It is, it's
a
great.
good time to play it.
Because
Yeah.
you don't want to settle into the game you're going to play for the long haul. But in case they come over and say, "Are you willing and able to assist in emergency?" I have to be like, "Yes, honk, yes." I did love the dedicated honk button.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was good.
It did get old.
There was only one thing in the normal requirements of the game that I never figured out how to do, and that was get the sun hat on the farmer, on the gardener.
Never figured it out.
Oh, really? So for me, it was I couldn't figure it out, and then when I played again, I just left him alone, and then eventually he goes over and like digs in the dirt, and I just pulled it off his head, right?
The hat that he's wearing.
Yeah, they pulled the hat off his head, and then he just goes and grabs the other hat, right?
Uh,
But like the frustrating thing was that he would do many things that would look like it was at a level that you could grab his hat, and it wouldn't work, right? Now when my son played it, he waited for when the farmer hits his thumb and he falls down on his back. My son timed it so that he ran out and then pulled it off his head then, right? I was like, oh, that was maybe better because that was at least a timed event you could kind of control,
Right.
Whereas the other one, I just had to wait for like 3 or 4 minutes till eventually he started digging. I was like, oh, I bet I could reach that now. I went over there and sure enough I could get it.
I kept trying to climb the cooler. Like I tried to like drag the cooler over and like climb up it
yeah,
and grab it.
doing that, or I was trying to like use the handle of
Yeah.
the rake to knock the hat off. And then for some reason, I was thinking you have to do something with that hat first. I wasn't thinking about the hat that he was currently wearing.
Yeah.
I
He,
never
just
thought
once
of
it's
that.
gone, he goes and gets the other one. But
Makes
yeah,
sense.
it was frustrating to me. And I don't mind those ambiguous tasks so much, but I would mind it. I'd be happier with it if it was more open world, where it's like, hey, you can go to any of these areas at any time and do any of the puzzles, right? And then, if you can't figure one out, just blow it off, right? Come back later, see if you can figure it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some trigger puzzles that you had to get done first. Right?
Yeah.
But overall, it was a fun little romp. $20.
Yeah,
Eh.
I would recommend it. I think, it's good, and I'm sure it'll be on sale. You can
Yeah.
get it super cheap eventually. So
Well,
if
I mean,
you are
art
worried about the price.
style and music style, phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, music.
Some of the
Yeah,
best
we haven't talked
I've
about
seen in
music.
games,
Yeah,
right?
music
Indie
was
games,
great.
like just fantastic. And so I think for that alone, it's worth it. It's kind of openish, which was nice. There were some surprising ones that were fun, right? Like when the goose can talk through the walkie-talkie or through the harmonica or through the cone, right? Those are all interesting, fun little quirks, right?
I like the little at the pub where you had to like perform for the people at the table.
Oh yeah.
And she like flapped her legs and you flapped yours, and then that was kind of fun.
That was a good one.
That was cute. I felt like it needed a little bit more of that quirky charm, right? There were too many of the tasks that were too mundane, but those ones that were on the quirky end, loved them. Thought they were fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sure they ran out of like fun, quirky ideas, and it's like, well, have them grab a pint glass. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of more things to do, because I bet they probably had the core of the fun, quirky ones made first, and they're like, well, it's not long enough. Let's add some more.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other two cons that I would specifically call out was that there was a weird, and I never really figured it out. Since there's no compass, you'd think, oh, well, we're on an isometric kind of diagonal, and so this is north, this is south. But when you'd go from area to area, the camera would twist.
Mm-hmm.
And so it made the navigation just weird to figure out where things were exactly. I didn't like that. I would have liked either a more marked twist, or maybe directional shadows, or a compass, or a mini-map, or something just to give it a sense of directionality throughout.
That only came into play for me at the very end when you have to walk back through the whole thing.
I
played it in all in one sitting. I didn't ever have to go back to places before until the very, very end.
Yeah.
And so, but I did remember thinking that, like at first, like, oh, I'm gonna need to remember how this connects to the other place, and it didn't really matter until very.
I took like 3 wrong turns on that last bell thing where I kept like turning right. I'm like, oh no, the camera's rotated. This is actually straight. Yeah.
Well, and they blocked off some paths.
Yeah, they did.
Yes. I hated that. You specifically opened all these shortcuts.
I know. That did annoy me.
Yeah, that was very frustrating. And then the other one that I would call out as a specific negative was that it was hard to tell when things were done sometimes, right? So, for example, I thought I was completely finished with the game. I was just like, oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And then Frosty's like, oh, yeah, so you got to the model town. I was like, say what now? And so I went back and I had to play more. And it was just that after the guy had sat in the tomatoes, he throws some stuff away, which opens a lid, which lets you go to another area. But I thought I was done with that because the final task was checked off. So I didn't follow him, right? Because I was up by the bucket. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't see that he had opened the garbage can. I didn't see that a new thing had triggered and that there was a new area to go to. Mm. And so it's just this vague thing of, oh, am I done? Is this just an underwhelming ending? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been nice, even if they just popped up a new blank page after you finished an area.
Yeah, something to show you need to go to the next thing.
There's something next.
Yeah. But, I mean, not too many cons, slightly clunky controls, but fine, and I think it's totally worth it for the art style and the music style. That said, of all the games we've played, this is the one where I found it the hardest to go back and play. Like, I was like, oh, I have to do this again. It felt very chore-like to me, whereas I think if it was, on an airplane, kill 10, 20 minutes, I think it would be a much better fit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good fit. I think a quick, portable, 5-10 minute just thing.
Well, I like to, I just sat down one Saturday morning and just played the whole thing in one sitting, and then I was done with it, and so, that worked too for me. Yeah.
Anyway, I'd say if it goes on sale, pick it up for sure.
Oh, yeah. $20 seems a little steep, but not insane, right? I mean, if you've got cash to burn, go for it. If not, share it with a friend, and it's not too bad.
There you go. So that's Goose Game.
Goose Game, there it is.
Now, this may seem like a super short episode, which is why we called out last time that we're going to do something a little different this time. So we wanted to talk about some of the other things we've been doing, including the games that we've been playing right now. Because Goose Game was short, so it allowed us to play other games. I personally have a long list of games I played, because I had, especially leading up to Halloween, I made a whole list of Halloween games to play, and I didn't end up playing them all before Halloween. So a lot of them I played after Halloween. But all my Halloween-themed games I tried to stuff in this time.
Yeah. Should we do a little season recap?
Oh, yeah, we should do that first. You're right. Sorry, I had this out of order.
It's all right. There is no order.
I'm in charge.
We go where we want.
Yeah.
I can read. I just skipped over that.
So we played, this is episode 13, but we played 12 games because we had one recap episode. Oddly enough for me, I don't know if you guys might have to think about this, 6 of the games we played I had already played before, and so 6 of them for revisits for me and 6 new ones.
Oh, I didn't count that.
Oh, I'm going to have to count that too. Let's see.
I should have said this before.
BioShock, Rayman. Just the 2 were recaps for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So way less. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that half...
So you played the Free Spaces in BioShock.
I never played it through Free Space 2.
Oh, okay.
So 1 Bioshock and Titanfall 3.
You had played Titanfall?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't.
I hadn't made it all the way through, but I'd
Okay.
played it before.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I'd played the online part of Titanfall, but I'd never played. Or this was Titanfall 2. Right?
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
never played Titanfall 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 I made about halfway through the campaign, and then we started doing this, and I'm like, okay, I'll set it over and play it later.
Funny. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. That
So half for you, but not...
Yeah, there were a lot of revisits for
Less
me,
than a third.
but I really enjoyed revisiting them, and especially Mass Effect. Like I really liked
Sure.
introducing that to you guys. So
Yeah.
I really hated
highlight
Mass
of the
Effect
season.
1.
Yeah.
But then Mass Effect 2 is redeemed it, so...
That's ridiculous.
Well, there's tons of
Yeah.
older games that I definitely want to play, and I think of the three of us, I'm maybe the more retro gamer, and so
Yeah.
a lot of the times, maybe that's why I played less of them because I was like, we want to do something from this genre, and so the ones I'd propose were older. I'm like, well, we don't want to do too many retro games because then it just feels like a retro channel. But
Yeah, I think we've had a good mix though, of
Yeah.
newer and older, and lots. We try to do lots of different genres and not just do shooters that we
Yeah.
kind of all really enjoy.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. And like, well, we just did a shooter. Are we going
Yeah.
to do another one? What did you think about doing Free Space 1 and 2 back to back?
I was fine with that. I mean, it was nice to. I don't know. It was a good continuation, I guess, to see it.
I liked
Mass
being able-
Effect 1 and 2 would have been harder to do back to back.
Yes.
Just because they're longer games.
Yeah, I think so.
They work better doing that way, Free Space.
Free Space 1 and 2 was good because I could remember, oh yeah, that's who these people are in Free Space
Yeah.
1, and then into Free Space 2, like, it made a natural thing. I don't think I could have done Mass Effect 1 and 2 back.
No, and I would have not really wanted to do that either.
it was just funny. Like if I was playing it by myself, I'm a back-to-back binger, right?
Really?
Like I just got Shadow of the Tomb Raider, right? And I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh,
download
yeah.
that, but I need to download Rise of the Tomb Raider so I can finish that first and then play, right? Like I want to play those all back-to-back.
But then I get, if I get 18 hours into a game, it's like, okay, I played that one to play the one I just bought. I don't want to play the one I just bought. I'm kind
See-
of sick of the genre.
I'm like the
Yeah.
kid that, you gave me a bucket full of candy and I would eat it and get sick, and then you'd put another bucket full of candy in front of me. I'd gladly eat that and still be sick, right?
While
Like
you're
I just
sick.
keep binging. I'm good, right? No such thing as too much of a good thing.
So, we're going to do something fun here. Least favorite game on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Watch Dogs.
Darksiders.
Ooh, really?
Really?
Worse, huh?
Because Darksiders had some moments in the middle of the game that I actually enjoyed. Watch Dogs was bad, start
Really?
to finish.
See, I enjoyed a lot of
Like
it.
it.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little clunky, but I enjoyed a lot of it. So
But I figured that was going to be our responses
Yeah.
for that.
Darksiders, though,
I really didn't like
I did
Darksiders
like
either,
I
but-
did like a decent section of Darksiders, but it probably was about half, and that's not enough for me to want to
Yeah,
never go back and play a
exactly.
game again.
That's what
Yeah.
I felt, and that I think we talked about this. And the beginning and the ending are so bad that
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
ruins the whole thing.
Well, and it didn't help that we played Crisis right before it and Free Space right after it, and I just loved both of those games,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it just dwarfed Darksiders all the more, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if we'd played, I don't know, one of the ones that I didn't care about quite as much, like Bastion. I like Bastion. I thought it was great, but it wasn't such a standout. I'm just odd
Yeah.
that it would have hurt Darksiders less, right? If it had been next to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had any hate from people that we've talked about Darksiders so poorly. So.
No, I got some.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I went out and I posted our stuff on Reddit. I posted our review of Darksiders, and some people were not happy.
Oh, okay, I take that back.
Yeah, they were like, "You just don't understand." I'm like, "You're right. Please explain it to
That
me.
is
I don't
absolutely correct.
understand." But it seemed like most of them. It was about what I thought. It seemed like most of them were really into the whole demon lore thing, and that's
Okay.
why they enjoyed it. And I don't know demon lore at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know it from Diablo, and even that's probably.
And I've never
very
even played
light.
Diablo, right?
He's never played Diablo?
No.
Wow. That's interesting.
So, tune in next season for Diablo.
I want to play Diablo. It's
We
and
could-
it's
we
on.
could
It went
play
on
it.
sale on GOG for 10% off, and I almost bought it. But I was
The
like,
first one?
The first one?
Yeah.
I actually have never played Diablo.
I haven't
5.
played Diablo 1 either.
Maybe we'll play Diablo.
Holy smokes,
Because
Diablo 1.
that is just single player.
Because
isn't
I've
it?
played
That's all I
Diablo
think so.
3. I did play 3.
Oh, okay.
And we played 2 several times.
We played 2 a lot, and I love 3, and I'm looking forward to 4, even though Klipper's not.
I'm just not looking forward to more disappointment.
Yeah.
All
Diablo
right.
1, that could be fun.
Yeah, I'm down.
Does anything run it? Did GOG remaster it so it works?
Yeah, it should run fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So you didn't like Watch Dogs. We didn't
Yeah.
like Darksiders. What about your favorite?
Ooh.
I think it's probably another one where Klipper and I match, but maybe not.
Titanfall 2 like blew everything out of the water.
Really?
Really?
I love Titanfall 2.
Wow.
So not even the nostalgia of Mass Effect.
Not even
was
nostalgia
enough?
Mass Effect. I think a
Okay.
lot of that is just because I've played them so much that
Yeah.
it's. I mean, I'd seen most of it before. I still love them, but Titanfall 2 was new and just loved start to finish. Like the puzzles, the combat, the variety of the weapons. The story was fine, but
Yeah.
Which was literally
decent.
just something they threw in there because Titanfall
Yeah.
was a multiplayer game. They're like, oh, let's just throw a
Yeah.
single player
It was
campaign in there.
Very, very impressive.
Yours?
So for me, Mass Effect 2 almost unseated it, but it was still BioShock Infinite, even though I'd
Really?
played that one before. I just love that world. I love the visuals. I love the gameplay. It's so good to me.
And even after hearing like your criticisms of it last time, because there was some criticisms of
It's not a
BioShock
perfect game.
Yeah.
I was still just like, yeah, but I still like it. BioShock's got just such a soft spot in my heart just because it was like the first game where I really like just felt immersed in a story, start to finish. Mass Effect 2 got really close.
Mm-hmm.
Got really close.
This pleases me to hear that.
I'm glad.
You guys like that so much.
And I mean, I'm probably a little bit too biased because when I say BioShock Infinite, it comes with not only the nostalgia from having played that one before, but the entire franchise, right?
Yeah.
And so it carries more weight.
Right.
But
Hopefully we'll be able to talk. Maybe we'll get to play BioShock 1 or 2.
I love them. Frosty, I don't know if you would like them. They are a bit more
I've played
scary.
1.
Okay.
I never played 2 because I disliked 1 so much.
And 2 was not received as well.
No, it was not.
So
Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, BioShock, I love it. Mass Effect 2, like to be honest, I've forged ahead into Mass Effect 3. I just like, I'm going to keep the story
Talk
going.
about that. Have you finished it? Or
I have not. I have not finished it. The story's not as good as 2. I'm far enough in the story
you think so?
to realize it's not as good as 2, which I actually don't think the story in 2 is as good as 1.
yeah, I was going to say the story
For sure,
from
1
1 was way
is the
better.
best story.
I mean, the twists
I
and
think
stuff,
that, but-
it should be a movie, and we can fight about that all the time. But I'd say the story, 1 is the best, 2 was just on the nose. It really is. It's like, you even mentioned it earlier, like the whole story is laid out start to finish in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, by the way, you got to go stop these people, these collectors, and go get your team, go to do loyalty missions, and then go do this. That's the mission.
See, in 2, if you play them all, 2 to me just feels like extended side mission. Because the Reapers aren't directly involved. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
adjacent.
No, one
Sounds
was
hard for
definitely
me.
my favorite plot, but then 2 was just so much more polished that it felt a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
But
2 is definitely easier to play
Yeah.
And fun.
more enjoyable. And
I
fun.
like the first one, but yeah, I got stuck. So while Mass Effect and BioShock were my favorite games, they weren't my favorite episode. I went back and I reviewed our episodes, and my favorite episode was actually the first one. So if you haven't seen the first one, we go through like our history of
Yeah.
what we're doing and why we do it, and we edited all these things in because there's just tons of information there and things that you're probably not going to know unless you're the encyclopedia video game and tech and you'll know it all, but I didn't know all the things in it. I mean, I didn't even know some of the things I was saying. I was like, I can't remember, was it 50-50 or 50-55? Anyway, but we edited that all in, and it's a really solid episode. I liked it. And then my next favorite episode were the quizzes. I loved the quizzes. I had so much
really
fun.
enjoyed our
They were
quizzes.
fun.
Yeah.
I got trounced in the Mass Effect quiz.
Well, you beat me the first 2 times.
Yeah, that's true.
You're still up a game on me.
I think for the coming season we're going to have a video game hardware quiz.
Okay,
That I'll
let's
put
do it.
together.
I like that.
Because I'm
Yeah.
super uber hardware nerd, and I think it'll be hilarious to watch you flounder.
And Cynic needs to take
Yeah,
a quiz.
Yes, Cynic needs a
I've
quiz.
got to take my lashings. And we've even considered possibly getting rid of the reward at the end and doing punishments instead. So maybe we'll see which way it goes.
Loser.
But-
Come for the video game, stay for the pain,
Masochism?
masochism. I don't know. So, what's your favorite episode if you had to pick one?
I would need to look back at him. I can't remember. I like when unexpected things have happened. Like you having a bandage for a few episodes and not being explained, or
Yeah,
and nor will we.
Cynic throwing things.
Yeah.
or-
I mean, and I'm sure stuff that like our hardcore viewers, which thank you, Grandma, probably picked up on, but no, and we will never discuss the bandages. So
I also hid a bandage under a hat one episode that you can't even tell.
yeah, that was the episode of head wounds.
There was an episode of Head Wounds, and no one knew about it.
Yeah. So I mean, we've had a few Easter eggs in game, and I'm planning on adding more as we move forward,
Nice.
and long running Easter eggs that won't be super apparent, so you'll kind of have to pay attention to see what they are.
I like
Maybe
it.
they'll be edited, maybe they'll be in the background, maybe they'll be part of the centerpiece. You'll have to see.
There you go.
Like it. I have enjoyed our centerpieces. I think.
Yeah,
They,
I mean, standout MVP right here.
yeah, I mean,
So-
the bucket. And a fully 1-to-1 scale. Well, it's not 1-to-1 scale. That's about a quarter scale of a goose, but...
That you 3D printed, right?
I did.
And then painted yourself?
Yep, just for this episode. For you, viewers like
Look
you.
at what we do. Great.
No, I've had a blast. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I listen to a ton of podcasts because in my job it's easy to do, and so it's kind of always on a bucket list of things I wanted to do, but I didn't really have a good idea. And so when we started talking about this, I was like, yes, I'm in. Like, I like games. I want to do this.
Well, it's just been great. And maybe this is more for me than for you guys, but just where I've, got kids and stuff, I kind of wasn't as tied into our group of friends anymore. And so this has been a really good way to have shared connections, shared stories, shared jokes, right? And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, like I feel like our friendship has grown a lot from this, which is
Yeah.
good because it could have gone the other way. You never know when you start
True.
working more tightly together.
It's very true.
Yeah, we could have hated each other and had fights.
And we've had some viewers play the games with us and reach out via our Twitter feeds and
Yeah.
whatnot. And some people call me a moron. Like, I got so much hate for Mass Effect 1. So much hate. I had at least 3 or 4 people saying, you are dumb. Like, you're the stupidest person ever. I'm like, okay, sorry.
I still love you.
I
I'm
appreciate
a
that.
big Mass Effect fan.
I'm sorry I called you dumb in this stupid.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, we've had a lot of fun. Should we talk about currently what we're playing then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I go first?
Sure.
I'll go first. So there's 2 main things that I've been playing. The first game is called Noita. I think it means witch in Swedish or
I
something.
wondered where that name came from.
Do you have to assemble the witch yourself from parts?
No. It's pixel art. I know you don't like pixel art, but there's a reason for
Yeah,
it.
a good one too.
Yes. Every single pixel is physically simulated, meaning snow melts and fire burns and wood burns and coal burns, but coal burns slowly or more slowly than wood does, and stuff falls, and like it's just like all physically simulated, and it's gorgeous. Like, I love what they've done. It's very unique and interesting.
And it's like a lot of destructible environments and
Yes,
stuff, right?
yeah. So all the environments are like destructible, but then there's things like metal you can only melt if you have acid or something like that. Like, the environments all react within themselves, and the enemies themselves will like do things that cause giant destruction in the environment. Sometimes you'll just sit there and just watch stuff happen, and it's great.
I can't even use my catchphrase on this one. I don't own it. I've just wish listed it.
Wow.
Is this a first that
Maybe.
you don't actually own it?
So
I'll buy it right now.
we hit that one. Trope. Okay.
Yeah.
Please continue.
But yeah, I think it's in early access right now, and they've been doing updates like really often, and done. I mean, even at release, it was great, like really polished, and they've just added a ton of new. You're a wizard or a witch. Maybe you're the witch. I'm not sure. I haven't actually beaten
Oh,
the
that
game.
makes sense. Yeah.
So you have wands, and the wands have spells, and so they just keep adding more and more and more spells, and just I don't know, just making it great. And so, highly recommend that if you like roguelikes. There's a permadeath thing, and so you do have to start over and replay it, but then it's all procedurally generated, so you have a different experience each time you play. It's great. Second thing is Ghost Recon. I keep wanting to call it Wildlands, but that was the previous. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It's a really dumb name.
Is Keanu Reeves in it?
No, but John Bernthal is.
Oh, okay.
And the motion capture that they have done on him is amazing. Like,
Okay.
it is. I mean, there's behind the scenes video that it is actually him doing the motion capture. I mean, he's voicing it. It looks like his face in the game. But there's so many like small little subtle quirks about the way that he moves and the way that he says things, and like even just like his blinking and his facial expressions. Like, if you've watched The Punisher, it matches it exactly in game. And I've never seen anything like that in a game before. Like, there's stuff like Mass Effect 2 has, Yvonne Strahovski, her face is in the game. Lots of games do that, but I don't ever remember playing a game where I've seen a character in a game and gone, that's them doing the motion capture.
And it's not just like pre-rendered video, but it's like you could walk around them and it still looks like them.
No, his is all pre-rendered cutscenes because he's the villain.
Gotcha.
And so There's a few times where you do see him in game, but you're not close enough to him to be able to tell that it's actually him. But like in the cutscenes, it's definitely him doing the motion capture. And
Nice.
It's great. Then the game itself, I really like the gameplay. It's an interesting evolution from where Wildlands was, which I loved and have hundreds of hours, I think, in Wildlands. So
Haven't played it.
That's great.
I did Wildlands. I did the beta with you back in the day, and that was
we did
fun.
that.
But it was also
It was very buggy.
Yeah, like every hill that you'd walk down, suddenly you're like walking straight up in the sky, and we're like, "Oh, this is great! Look, I can walk in the air." And then suddenly you'd reach the cliff at like the end of wherever that would happen, and you'd plummet to your death. It was
Or
like
people would ride on the back of the motorcycle. Like, did you ever see that happen? If two people got on a motorcycle, the second person for some reason was like standing on the back of it. Like
He's riding the
did,
pegs.
yeah.
Didn't you ever ride the pegs back in grade school?
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, it was weird.
Give me a pump. Is that what you called it, Night Owl?
A pump?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a pump.
Uh-huh.
And you, yeah, you give them a pump and you ride on their pegs and they
don't
peg
know
a
why
belly
it was
somewhere.
called that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
No, we didn't say that.
Okay, so in civilized places we had these things on bicycles, and you'd have one person.
We had bicycles, but the second person had to have a jump rope that you would tie to the seat, and you would rollerblade behind them on the way into fight class.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. There's your one claim to fame, Idaho boy.
My other claim is that we literally did that. Like, before Napoleon Dynamite, we literally did that thing. He was just documenting it. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Well, fits perfectly.
All right, so I'm playing Mass Effect 3, continuing the story. Like I said, we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll play it for the cast. Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
I want to, but it is quite a bit longer. Do you know how many hours you are into it?
I'm already 30 in, and I'm not done.
Yeah, it's quite a bit
The
longer.
trouble is, I'm having this horrible, like, I don't know what I want to call it, but in number 2, you had a silent countdown that started when a certain event occurred.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that same thing's happening in 3, so I'm like, am I going too slow? Am I going too fast? Am I going to watch all of my friends die at the end? I don't know.
I don't think that happens.
And I'm just not looking forward to saying goodbye to Shep, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Because he's not in Andromeda.
Exactly. Playing that. I've actually been playing a ton of Pokemon Shield on the Switch.
All right.
I've played Pokemon games forever and ever and ever. And the funny thing is, I'm actually a little bit older than like when Pokemon were really popular.
Yeah, I don't have any connection to Pokemon.
Nor do I.
I picked them up in my 20s, believe it or not, just on a Game Boy, and I'm like, oh, these are kind of fun. So I've played most of the main ones in each series, and I'm probably about 18 hours, 19 hours into this one, just about finished, and it's been fun. Like I said, I travel for work a fair bit, and I take it on my Switch, and it's super handy.
I don't even know, I feel like the only Pokemon I ever played was Stadium on N64, and that was just battles.
Yeah, and the actual Pokemon game is nothing like that.
You were actually like walking around doing things.
Their whole point is the catchphrase is gotta catch them all. That's kind of the
Right.
big thing is you're supposed to catch all of them and try to get them. And then there's naturally a story where you're progressing and you're like battling gym leaders to get up to the grand champion of the region or whatever. But for me, I just love exploring the environment, finding all the Pokemon and training them up. I over level all of them, so every actual like part of the game that should be difficult to play, like the gym challenges, I just one shot everything because I've spent so much time in the open area just training and whatnot. But it's been a lot of fun. That's what I've been doing. And then me and Cynic actually played Far Cry 4.
5.
I'm in 5,
Yeah.
not 4.
Oh yeah, because I played that before, and we played some co-op
Some of it, yeah.
back, but then you never finished the
Right.
game, right? Yeah, I finished it then. That was probably when it came out. Wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it was
I
when it
can't
came out.
remember. It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, I always mix up Far Cry. Like 1, jungle. 2, African savanna. 3, jungle again. 4, jungle again. 5, Montana.
Exotic.
That's right.
I loved it though. I thought it was
5
fantastic.
is great.
I had a blast.
I really enjoyed it, except for the ending. It's
The
so
ending's-
bad.
I thought the ending was super intriguing, but I mostly was that I wanted to play 4 first, and that's why I didn't play it before. But we skipped 4, so I'll go back and play 4 at some point. But
I don't think they're connected. There might be like some
no,
Easter egg
but I still,
type things,
I want to play Primal. Like I like to play them in order because it's hard to go backwards, right? So like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you play,
just
I
gameplay-wise.
played Assassin's Creed 2 before I ever played 1, right? And I went back to 1, I was like, oh, this is so hard to play.
Yeah.
Like, the controls are clunky. Whereas if you play them in order, you just feel like, oh, things are getting better and better and better.
I can
true.
see that.
But, yeah. So not only did we play Far Cry 5, but we also played Orcs Must Die 2. That was the other one we were playing, which was fun. I'd never done that. I'd played
that-
Dungeon Defenders, if you've ever played that, and it's,
Okay, I have
it's
played
similar.
Dungeon
It's like that, right? It's a tower defense, but tower defense plus hack and slash third person.
I might have
powers.
played the first one. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
It was a good
It's
time.
fun. I liked it. Easy, good to pick up. The only other two that I've played, I played a few completely. So I played Inside with my kids before Halloween, which gave them some nightmares, so maybe that wasn't the best choice. But it's like zombies and zombie pigs and stuff. It was a super interesting game.
Is that the side-scrolling?
Yeah, so it's the same people that did Limbo, if you ever played that one back in the day.
I think I've seen gameplay or screenshots or something of it, but I never played it.
Super fun. I loved it. And then I replayed Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 recently. And then I decided to play the next one after that I never played as a kid. I don't know why. And I'd never even really heard about it till I was an adult. But it came out right after Dark Forces 2. And it's the Mysteries of the Sith. So it's Star Wars Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith.
I don't even remember that one coming out.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
What year did it come out?
It was 98. So Dark Forces 2 came out at the end of 97. And then Mysteries of the Sith came out at the beginning of 98. So it was like planned, right? But it starts out awful, terrible. Everything about it is worse than Dark Forces 2. But then you finally stop playing Kyle Katarn, and you switch to who they wanted the main character to be, I think. So I think they slapped on a Kyle Katarn bit at the beginning that was just rubbish, right?
Oh.
It's like a bridge.
And then you switch to Mara Jade, who's like his Padawan, basically.
Yeah.
And suddenly the game's way better. It's been a lot of fun since then. So I'm not going to say it's better than Dark Forces 2, but it's at least on par now.
So what engine is that one on? Do you know?
It's the same as Dark Forces 2, so it's the nasty 3D looking.
Isn't it Quake? I think it's a Quake engine.
Is it Quake or is it Doom? I know
the first one's Doom engine.
First one's Doom.
But then the second one, I don't know what it's. It's probably the Quake engine. Yes, because it's the same that Half-Life is built on, right? So a lot of Half-Life stuff it actually borrows from Dark Forces 2. You can see the similarities in a lot of it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so those were the main ones I've done, but my kids wanted to see a lot of Halloween games, so we played Bendy and the Ink Machine, not all the way through, but a fair bit. I did Stories Untold. I actually played that all in one go for my channel. I just wanted to play it. Oakwood, I played that completely with my daughter. It's kind of a dinosaur horror game. Not super great. I wouldn't recommend it.
Like Turok?
It's...
Or like Theodore Rex.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, last night we watched Theodore Rex for the first time. None of us had seen that before, and shouldn't have yet.
No one should watch that.
That's 2 hours of my life I'm not getting back.
And then Frosty and I have been playing Generation Zero a bit. We didn't play tons of it, but we played a fair bit, so we've kind of explored the first area and a little bit of the next areas. And then Rocket League we still been playing. Oh, and we all played some Golf with Friends. Oh, no, you didn't play it, did you? Golf with Friends?
I played it when the bunch...
Yeah.
Like we played it a bunch the first time.
It had a big update, a Worms update recently. We played that.
I played it in a hotel room.
I was sick.
The other weird kind of Halloween-y one I played with my kids, we didn't finish it, but was Tesla Effect, which is a weird like FMV puzzler. And then Portal Bridge Constructor, Peggle, and Ricochet, just kind of some arcadey puzzle type games to kill time. Cool. So I've managed to sneak a lot in, but at the detriment of my machine learning class because I'm now 2 weeks behind. As of today, I'm 2 weeks behind. I was 3 weeks behind this morning, but I did a week this morning.
Sounds awful.
So, what does kind of going forward? What are you looking forward to?
Can I say one thing?
But please do.
Go there?
Please do.
I want to give Cynic a shout out because some of my favorite games that I've played all year long were things that you played on your channel.
Oh.
Was
Evoland 2?
Yeah, Evoland 2 was amazing. I played them both. Evoland 1 is great, but the second one is amazing. Like, one of the best
the second one.
adventure games I've ever played. But, I mean, got into that because I saw you play the first one and played them both. But then also, Scapegoat. I couldn't think of the name.
Oh, yeah.
Scapegoat.
I love Scapegoat.
The first one, the controls suck. Like, it's not precise enough to do, like, some of the jumping stuff. And I really hated it. And I was like, I don't know that I'm even going to play the second one.
The
but
second
I
one was
tried
a lot more
it,
polished.
and the second one was fantastic. Like, start to finish, so good.
Yeah.
Love the puzzles and just
some of the puzzles were some of the hardest puzzles I've done.
Yeah, some really tough stuff.
Because most of the puzzles, it's not about like timing, right? And a lot of those ones are timing based.
Yeah, and stuff. There's so much involved in the whole Rube Goldberg-ness of it that you like. It's hard to predict like where everything is like needs to end up. Like it gets pretty crazy, but really really fun.
Yeah. Oh, you also turned me on to Bloody Boobs. I got to play through that one.
Oh man, that's easily the second worst game I've played this year. The worst one being A Dump in the Dark.
Oh yeah, I turned yours off.
It was so bad.
Nope, I'm not watching this.
Whereas Bloody Boobs, it was the second worst. It was a tolerable game, but it just wasn't done well.
No.
But it is the #1 searched game on my channel.
There you go.
Boobs.
Man,
interesting.
That game was rubbish.
It was horrible.
Didn't keep me from watching the entire episode.
Well, you make it entertaining. So
Yeah, I was enjoying myself. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the one playing this.
Yeah, it's good. So thank you for your service.
No.
Yes,
No
you do good
worries.
work.
I do plan on hopping back into playing some weird games and stuff. I haven't done it yet, but once this machine learning class is done, which should be a month from next week, hopefully, then hopefully I'll get back into it and stop being so lazy. So,
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then, yes, looking forward.
So there weren't any announcements in the industry lately, were there?
A new Half-Life game the other day. Yeah.
I can't play it.
I can't either, and I don't know how I feel
That's
about
not true.
that.
I could come camp at Klipper's house.
Oh! Is this a Vive controller? Oh, hello there.
So we just need to find times when he's not here, break into his house and play Half-Life.
You have a key to my house. You don't need to break in at all.
I honestly don't know if I want a head crab jumping at my face in VR.
I
Yes.
absolutely do.
Yes.
But I would like
that.
the option to have played it just on a normal.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand about the whole.
It's the only way it would have worked.
No.
Yes.
So VR games, I've played VR games at your house, and you're playing in VR, and I look at the monitor and I go, okay, that looks like fun. And then you put the VR headset on me, and I go, oh, it's about the same as when I was just looking at the monitor before. Like, it's not that engrossing to me, like, yet. I think eventually we'll get there, right?
It's the only way Valve could have made a Half-Life property and not been destroyed for it. And here's why. Because we will never have a game that lives up to our expectations for Half-Life 3. Ever.
Says the man that hasn't ever finished Half-Life 2.
Because I don't want it to end.
See, I disagree. Like, I look at Project Borealis right now. Fantastic. Looks awesome. I'm excited to play it. Everything about it just looks good because the people making it like it. And so the great thing about Valve is that they are self-organizing. So if Half-Life 3 ever does get made, it won't be a top-down, hey, we dictated that this must happen. It's a group of people that just want to do it. And as long as a team is wanting to make a game, I'm going to like it.
But by making a VR title, it's a very safe bet saying, oh, I didn't
That's
like
true.
it very much. Well, it was VR.
I'm glad at least they've done a prequel that it's. I can not play it and feel okay. That
Yeah.
Is it
I'm not
prequel?
missing part of the story.
It's 1.5.
Yeah, I mean,
1.5.
what do you call those? Is that like a squeeze?
yeah, I
a
guess,
squeeze cool?
yeah.
A squeeze cool.
Yes.
Untitled squeeze cool game.
The pre-sequel. Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
I also had forgot that was how Alex spelt her name.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I knew that.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for it because I bought a VR headset a few years ago and haven't used it. So
Yeah.
the funny thing
You
is,
will enjoy it.
the funny thing is, like, you get it free if you buy like their new stuff, which I'm sure it's partly a ploy to peddle some of their hardware,
100%, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there going, well, I could pay $60 to get Alex, or I could get the new fancier hand controllers for like $200, and then you get it free. So I'm like, is that worth it? But then, what do you do with your old ones? Like, you can't use 4 at a time.
Yeah, and like I feel like you'd want to have like a big backlog of other VR games to use them with.
Yeah, the VR has been fun. I love VR for if you're sitting in a cockpit.
Yeah.
VR is fantastic.
Yep.
I love it. Like racing games,
Okay, yeah.
sim racing, like flight sims. It's just a riot.
I
I
can see
love it
that.
so much. Everything else, it's been a disappointment.
Just because walking and
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Until we have omnidirectional treadmills, I don't think VR adventure type games work. Because warping is stupid, and on rails, they get old. Like, shooters on rails get old.
See, I think for
Yeah.
me it would be enough to just have those weird little slippery half domes that you can walk in that have some capacitive touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just wear socks and you just slide, walk in the way you want,
Yeah.
but then you have to have like a little waist rail. I think those ones would be enough for me.
I want
To enjoy it.
a true omnidirectional treadmill. I think it'd be amazing.
I just don't see that happening. I mean, so look at your phone, right? The fanciest new phones that are out there, drag your finger and draw something. The amount of lag just in that is enough to be disorienting when you're trying to draw something quickly or write something quickly, right? Now you're talking about full walking in motion. I don't see us getting there for several years.
Could be.
Could be. But when it does, man, everyone's going to suddenly be
Oh,
fit.
yeah.
Like, everyone is going to be fit because it'll be like, oh, you want to play Call of Duty and you want to get to that ammo box? Well, sprint.
That actually would be really cool.
Like, could you imagine? It's like all of a sudden athletes now conquer esports too because they can run longer, run faster.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, there's going to be debates around accessibility, and then people playing in accessibility mode that shouldn't be playing in accessibility mode, and then where does that gray line end of who should be in accessibility mode, who shouldn't be in
Well,
accessibility
considering we still
mode?
can't agree on keyboard and mouse versus controllers, and we don't let them play
Yeah,
together.
We
Yeah.
don't. You, the two shall never meet.
Yeah. So
That is not allowed.
I'm excited for that. Half Life Alex, you're all welcome to come enjoy it on VR.
All right, this is on video, recorded. You're all witnesses. I'm coming.
You literally have a key to my house, so you can like just walk in.
So I already mentioned Diablo 4. That's going to be like 3 years from now when that finally comes out.
And I'm not going to pre-order it. I pre-ordered Diablo 3 and was so disappointed. So I'm not going to pre-order Alex.
Slightly, but
No, but I mean, again, part of the reason we did this podcast is that we have this huge backlog of games, right? Like I looked at my database yesterday. It was 2,629, I think, or 28, right? I have a lot of games to get through. I don't need to get a brand new game. So like you're playing
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order right now. I want to play that, but I'm not ready yet to buy it.
yeah.
Is it
Got
good?
too much going on.
I don't want to say anything about it.
He wants to hide it.
Yeah, because I feel like we
Just
will
whet our
play it
appetite.
for this.
We will
I
play
think
it.
we will, and that'll be a great excuse for me to splurge and
Yeah.
buy a newer game.
Well, you could buy like what was the one? Battlefront 2. That had a single player campaign. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm sure I will play that
that's
eventually.
right,
That is one
yeah.
of the ones in my backlog.
Yeah. So let's just say I want you guys to play it because I want to talk
Looks
about
like he
it with
loves
you
it.
guys.
Borderlands 3, I want to play.
That's the other one that
Yeah.
I have on my list. And
Which
then
Borderlands
Cyberpunk.
3, Borderlands 2.5? Is it really that different?
We already had 2.5.
Then
That
we
was the
already
prequel.
We already had yeah.
Like they're milking the cash cow, but hey, that's okay. It's a
I
fun cow.
loved it. I just
And
had fun.
I think it looks different enough that
Does
they've changed enough that I think. it
See,
looks
I would
interesting.
gladly play things on the very first Borderland engine as long as they were spending time making quirky characters, right?
Yeah.
The quirky characters are enough for me. The
And
graphics of the first one are plain.
And I just love the variety of guns too. That
Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
constantly finding tons and tons and tons of loot.
Let me play as Tiny Tina. That'd be amazing.
I thought she was going to be one of the Vault Hunters in this one, but
No?
no.
Dang
That
it.
would be really cool.
That'd be awesome to me. Kaboom!
Though that would lead to fights because it is co-op and not everyone can be Tiny Tina.
That's true.
Or
No,
maybe
you can
there
all-
you go. Everybody should be able to
You
be
can
Tiny
all be
Tina.
the same character.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you always
They
do
don't
that?
restrict that. Yeah. You can all be the same. They don't care.
Oh yeah, because we had two
But-
bricks when we were playing back in the day.
Uh-huh.
and-
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think even since Borderlands 1, you've been able
Yeah.
to be all the same. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, both Blind XP, who's one of our most loyal viewers,
Yeah.
and I were both brick, and we'd just go through punch and stuff, and everybody else was like snipe. I think we had two Mordecais and two bricks. It was
That's
really weird.
Probably.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
No.
Normally
like
it's
something
like
we do.
Lilith. Everybody's like, I want to play Lilith. I want to play Lilith. But that's the next one, I guess. But this, or no, that was the first
No,
one.
That was the first one.
There's always a silent.
It's been too long. I got to play it again.
Lilith's in the second one, too.
Just not playable.
Yeah.
Last thing I was looking forward to, I think I just said, but might have been overshadowed, was Cyberpunk.
Oh,
Looking
yeah.
forward to Cyberpunk.
So do you remember that part where I said we don't pre-order? I already did.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
On which platform though? That's
Oh.
the question.
So I think you can only pre-order it on GOG, can you?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I haven't looked into
I
pre-orders,
haven't
so,
looked into it, so.
yeah. Okay, so GOG, that's where we're committed to. I'm
Hey, I'm
'cause-
GOG. I like what they do.
Oh, I figured,
I
was
do,
gonna
yeah.
that, 'cause,
I like what they do.
free and
Yep.
they're making it, so may as well get it through them.
And I'll be honest, when Keanu Reeves, I was like, bye.
Yeah.
Like,
That's pretty
you
awesome.
had me at hello.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. CD Projekt Red has never led anyone astray. They've just sucked you into the Witcher world for hours and hours and hours and
Yeah,
hours.
I would say my complaint about Witcher 3 is that it's too long, but if Cyberpunk is that long, I think I'll enjoy it more because I like sci-fi more than I like fantasy.
Right.
See, my complaint about The Witcher 3 is that I'm too scared to start The Witcher 1 and then 2 and then 3 because
That is-
they're all too long.
That is a lot of...
That's a
the game
lot
time.
of-
Because that's how I want to do it. So my wife has started playing The Witcher 1.
Oh, really?
And it looks fun. I want to play it. But again, she's been playing a while now, and I don't think she's even moderately close to halfway.
Yeah.
But
I liked the first one, never played the second. Just went right to 3.
Aren't they making a movie? Isn't there a Witcher 3?
Netflix series.
A Netflix series.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think pretty
and then they
soon
got like
here.
the adventure card game that it makes me worried. It just looks like a cash grab game. I've seen it goes on sale all the time for like $2 or something like that.
A Witcher
So-
one?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's on GOG and Steam and stuff, and it goes on sale all the time. It gets recommended
Oh,
to me
no,
because
is
I
it,
own the other ones. But
It's the one that's in Witcher 3. I forget what it's called.
oh, is that what it is?
Gwent.
Oh, okay.
It's really fun in Witcher 3. Like, I love that part of it, which is also one of the reasons that I love Evil Land 2, is the card game inside the game is really, really fun. But then the standalone Gwent I played, I didn't really like it that much.
All right.
I think part of it is that they might have changed this now, but when it was first out, you have to play against real humans.
Okay.
And I just don't like that as much as just playing against bots that are programmed to be better than you. I don't know. Somehow that's more enjoyable, like finally being able to beat one that you haven't been able to.
Gotcha.
Rather than someone that's trash talking you or just, I don't know, taking 5 minutes to play their turn because they're thinking of every little strategy. And
Oh,
stuff.
you have to wait? There's not like a timer?
There might be, but it's
man.
long enough that it's annoying.
Yeah.
I'm still into the whole, like, people I think a lot more when they play games than I do. Like, if I'm playing, like, some strategy game, like, 12 seconds, that's good enough. And then they're, like, taking the whole turn, like, oh, I probably should have thought more.
This is why I can't play chess, right? Like, because I'll make good moves for 5 seconds worth of thought, but it's not good compared to 5 minutes worth of thought.
Yeah.
So one that I'm excited about, and it's kind of old news, but I'm still excited about it, is Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to PC, right? Like, I think
It's out now.
It's out now.
Again, I don't buy new things, so
Granted, you're probably about 3 to 4 months away from actually playing a playable version of it because it's a slideshow right now.
oh, is it bad?
So unoptimized.
So I mean, I have it on the
interesting.
Xbox, and I've played the intro of it on the Xbox, but I haven't had the time to play. And it's harder. I find it's easier to play on my computer because I have my computer. My office is in a walk-in closet that I've claimed as my little space of the house that no one else goes into. Whereas the Xbox is on our main TV, and so as soon as you start playing there, kids and wife and doorbells and everything, it gets in the way. So
Makes sense.
No, I totally get it. You have a cozy little closet.
that's right. I love my closet.
It's not under the stairs, though.
I just
It's
am
next
glad
to
you
under
don't
the
call it a
stairs.
man cave.
Yeah, we
It's
appreciate that.
It's just the closet.
Yeah, just closet.
The closet, we should really put outlets in that closet someday and not run extension cords.
No, there's outlets in
There
there.
are?
There's just not. So the reason that I have an extension cord running into it is because I don't want the two computers on the same circuit.
Oh.
And so I have one on a separate circuit from the other. But yeah.
Come
And
for the
then-
game, stay for the home improvement.
That's right. And then my closet is lovely decorated with the giant pushing 40-bit banner that Frosty gave me. It looks a little something like this.
Oh,
Oh, off-camera grabs. I like this.
Yeah, there you go.
look at this.
Pushing
This-
40-bit. This is the mouse pad.
I was going to say, this is the shower curtain.
I just need a little shower curtain, wrap around my nether region, shower up. That was a Christmas gift that Klipper has prepared for the two of us. So thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're more than
Yeah.
welcome.
My desk is now fully clothed. It's not immodest anymore.
Yeah,
I just like having a mouse pad or desk mat that's giant.
it is fun.
I can't stand tiny mouse
Yeah.
pads.
You can, really use that.
Just really use that space. Just
Yeah.
explore your space.
That's all I had.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great season.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of
Really
fun.
enjoyed it. Looking forward to what comes next.
Season 2.
We haven't set a game for. Well, maybe I should say first. We're taking December off,
Right.
holidays and all that. So this episode will come out December 1st. There won't be a January 1st episode because there hasn't been a December game. But then January we will be playing something, but we haven't discussed what that'll be yet. So we'll announce it, Twitter, and maybe we'll make a YouTube video or something. Just to
Comment
announce
down
it.
below with a game you want us to ignore because we pick what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see. And
Yeah, we'll still be playing games. We'll
Happy
probably
to
check
play.
out some other like videos of just stuff we're working on. We should record like a golf with friends game or something.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd
Because I
fun.
should have some
Yeah.
time around the holidays, and so it'll be fun to play some games.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, get playing, get buying, and we will see you next year.
Thanks.
Enjoy. Yay.
The throw.